yourself out of that one? The second quarter was anything but tsunami football, wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, they did defend us really well. Felt like we created a heap of opportunities though. 30 inside 50s to half time. I don't know what we ended up with, but I felt like we were generating entries. We just weren't winning that ball through the midfield well enough, and their contest stuff was well and truly above our level there for a big part of that second quarter, but also other patches of the game.
I think you got smarter about how you moved the ball forward, or how you
No, not really. Not really. We didn't move the ball exactly how we wanted, but that was because of their defence. Felt like they defended the corridor really well. After the first quarter where we felt like we could get it through there, they kind of blocked it. And it became sort of a bit more of a game in their hands where we just kicked the ball to contest, and they were really good at winning that ball, and it felt like the ball would bobble and they were always first to strike. So that's an area of our game where we need to keep searching to improve, and I feel like we're capable, but we didn't get it done against what is a really good contest team.
That was just Sam Taylor saving.
Yeah, it feels like that every week. To be honest, he's an incredible player. He's All-Australian last year, so clearly we know the quality. But we missed him in a big chunk when he did his hamstring. I think he did it round 8. Missed 8 or 9 games. But he's just such a fantastic 1v1 player. I think any time the ball's kicked in the area, you feel safe. He can either mark the ball or he'll big spoil it, and it certainly helps not only us defend, but quite often helps us attack too. So, wonderful player. We rely on him heavily.
You're on the edge of the 8 now. You dare to dream what it could be?
Well, I mean, that's the aspiration. We want to play finals football. And certainly we know we've got work to do to get there, but we feel like we're trending in the right direction. We feel like our game's in good order. We're certainly in form. We've won 5 in a row now. So anything's possible, as I've said, but it doesn't just happen, as we know. We've got to make sure we maintain a really high level. It'll be what it'll be, really. We'll just keep playing as well as we can each and every week and see where it takes us.
How much of what you want's pretty well firmly in place now, and how much is still unfolding?
I think the bulk of it. I think for the most part, it's in place how we want to play. I think for the majority of games, it looks like how we want it to look. Now the opposition, they're going to take stuff away from us, and that's fine, and that happens. So we can sort of go away from that. I don't think we quite nail our plan B yet when the opposition do take away plan A. So we've still got work to do there, but all in all, I've been really pleased with the way the guys have attacked a new game plan. They're learning their roles within it. They're really trying their hardest to execute, and that's all I can ask as a coach.
How impressed were you with Josh Kelly tonight? Obviously, he battled that really hard tag last week.
Yep.
He bounced back pretty good. He was influential tonight.
Yeah, he certainly was. Yeah, so Jones came to him for the first half, tried to tag him, and I thought Josh learnt from last week. And we as a team and me as a coach learnt from last week too, and that we've got to try and help him. And there are different ways that we helped him, and there's different ways that he helped himself, and that was all on the back of learning the lessons from last week. And he's a star of the competition. He loves his performance, but he loves the team's performance even more, and that's more important to him. So he was as happy as anyone last week, and he's certainly as happy as anyone today.
What about your captain as well today? He started the fourth quarter got the first clearance of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
He put the match winner in the middle and forward as well. He kicked probably the backbreaker with his third goal as well, which was a good bounce.
Yeah, he's a reasonable player. He does. That goal in the last quarter where you just go, wow, there's only a handful of players who can do that in the league, and fortunately we have one of them.
Almost took the grab of the year as well.
What was it?
Almost took the mark of the year.
No, he did, yeah. I think he'd struggle to get past Himmelberg's in round 1, to be fair, but it was going to be a very, very good one.
Is there a real sense of momentum now? Do you feel that?
Yes. Yeah, we've won 5 in a row. Probably not too many people would have expected us to beat Adelaide in Adelaide. Our guys are feeling really good about their games, individually and as a collective. There's real belief in the way that we play is good enough, and I think it's evident that we're going to fight out every single game, irrespective of what the score says. And sometimes the scoreboard goes in our favour, and sometimes it doesn't, like the early part of the year. So You know, we've got to continue to try and build that reputation, because the moment we don't do it, we'll lose that reputation.
When you put the first half of the year to now, I mean, when you compare the two, what sort of sticks most in your mind?
Well, I think the more games you play together, the more it becomes natural your decision making under pressure around how we want the game to look. And in the early part of the year, we weren't getting that right often enough, and that was evident. Even in round one, when we were still able to win the game, we're making a lot of errors, and fortunately, maybe probably relying on some of our talent to get our noses over the line. But now I think we're pretty reliant on system, and I see that as where the great teams lie. So we're far from a great team, but that's what we're aspiring to be.
Let's just say your senior players are playing so well at the moment. What does that say about your senior players? Is that telling you they've bought into what you want, or is it telling you even more?
Well, they're a proud group. I think they're probably looking at their opportunities, maybe running out of time. I don't know if that's their mindset. It certainly hasn't been conveyed to me that way. But they're a proud group. They want to play really well for their teammates. You know, Lachie Whitfield's 200th tonight, and you ask the guys to play like Lachie with a bit of courage and dare, and it's exactly what you get to a man. And I think that's probably a reflection of how much the group and the club loves Lachie Whitfield. And so I think that's probably a common theme amongst all of our more experienced players, is they want to be successful, both individually but more importantly as a group. You know, they really crave that group success. And I sit here and think, well, it's a wonderful starting point for me, because I'm not trying to convince them to be team players and role players. They're attacking it with everything they have, and that makes my and the coaches' jobs so much easier.
What's their feedback been like to you?
Well, they're loving the way we play. You know, clearly the last 5 weeks they've loved it. You know, because winning does that for you. But I think they're really clear with how we want them to play as a coaching group, and I think they really enjoy playing that style of footy. So, that's great. But again, we've got work to do. We need to front up, recover well, and get after Gold Coast in Canberra next week.
You got anyone in the medical rooms?
Well, yeah, we've got a couple. So Finn Callahan missed tonight, laid out. I thought I'd give him till game time to try and get up, but it became a little bit too much of a risk with a hip flexor. So he could have played, but I thought it's probably better if we manage him. And then obviously Tom Green hurt himself throughout the week, and scans come back with a hamstring, so he'll miss. I don't think he'll be ready for next week either. But out of tonight, I think we're okay. Maybe a bit of cramp, but that's about it.
What are all the road wins? So you've won in Alice Springs, Tassie, Geelong,
Yep.
Northern, here.
Yep.
I've missed one or not. But what does that say about the group that you're getting those wins on the road?
I think it's probably a reflection of how well they prepare. Their routines. I mean, we travel a lot, as you know, so same as Adelaide and Port Adelaide. So our guys get used to a routine, and it feels like it's working at the moment. But it is something we want to be really strong at as away games. And what are we, 6-3 now, maybe away from home. So it's a really strong away record.
Can I ask how you felt for your premiership teammate this week?
Yeah, it was disappointing for him. It's always a hard situation to be in when you want someone to succeed. Who's obviously a really good friend of mine. But I was really disappointed for him.